Oh, wow, no, my bitch. That was crazy. Oh, wow.
What happened?
Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the Losers Lounge. Definitely not. My God, I don't know. This never happened. I'm sure everybody had the same reaction as us. We're downstairs at the bar. It was actually a good vibe for most of the night.
The vibe was incredible.
The vibe was incredible. The game ends. Like, you see it coming. The collapse happens, and then they lose, and then they go down big. And the game ends, and like all three of us just sat there for like 10 minutes. It's like, we got to go do the show, you guys.
I feel like I'm still down there in a sense. Like,
emotionally.
My mortal core was dragged upstairs and slapped into this stupid fucking Losers Lounge. But I am still at that table downstairs enjoying it.
What do we do to deserve this?
I think if I can trace it back, we were born.
We were born and just thrown into it.
Yes.
As John Paul Sartre would say.
I didn't get to choose the Nuggets. The Nuggets chose me, and wow.
This is a rough one, man. I mean, this really is, I think, a low point of the season.
Of my life, dude. And
like kind of a low point really of quite a while. But I'm with friends here. I got D-Line Go.
Oh, did you mean me when you said that?
Yeah, it's you.
Wow, boy,
you're just Eric today. To
boy,
be honest with you.
boy, is this going to be a rough revelation for you. And you realize you're actually not with friends. You're with strictly coworkers.
Oh, that hurts so bad. Over here, I got Superstar Dev.
All I know is pain. That's all I know is pain.
I know, dude.
That had the makings of such a fun
Dude, that's the
game.
worst part.
Like, we were having a good time downstairs.
Oh, we were laughing.
We're high-fiving. We're seeing, like, highlight play after highlight play. We're calling Jokic, Wilt Chamberlain. Like, we're looking up all the records he could have broken in this game. Like, there was so many, like, good parts of that game. And then pain came.
I mean, there's just the vibe around this team really is so concerning, man.
Dude,
I mean,
I think it's like it's like not even vibes anymore.
It
like
really is.
The vibes imply something is happening. We're just like flatlining vibes right now.
I got to say, we're presented by Lightshade. I got to always say that. Presented
Let's
by
go.
Lightshade Dispensary. You guys looking for great deals, check them out.
Dude,
Locations,
25%
11 locations around Denver, and a 12th one coming soon. So, there's sneaky lots to get into about this. I mean, like, honestly, there's a lot in this game.
Oh, my God.
I tweeted after the first quarter, it's like there's a lot to unpack. And then the second, third, and fourth quarter just, like, dumped a whole bunch more on. I think the best way to do this, the best way for us to approach this is just to say, who are we mad at?
Yeah.
Like, who are we upset with? If we were to go line number one, Superstar Dev, who are we upset with?
I think there was some questionable decisions by Malone.
Yep.
Okay. Michael Malone.
I really
Target
think
number one.
Yeah, I think that would have to be it. Just because I feel like the Nuggets played well. The bench unit played well. Jokic had a monster game. The Nuggets were up 17 points. And then there were just questionable decisions of leaving guys in for too long or watching like a whole like the bench ended up like playing so bad that they started coming back, and he still elected to like side with the bench. And it was like I felt like it was supposed to be a cat and mouse game with him and Borrega. But he elected to just sit he was like, the starters are sitting down. Like, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
But it was like Malone didn't want his starters to come back, so he didn't put his starters back in. And then when he did, it was like, I'm not going to say too late, but it was like the momentum was already on one side. So I'm going to start with Malone. And I'm not saying that he's the
we got a lot of people to get to. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, it really was. But I think that it does start with him.
Eric, one thing that, and I think I mentioned this while we were down there, I don't know, I definitely thought it. The Nuggets are up 20 points.
Yep.
The vibes were great.
Yep.
And they cut to Michael Malone on the bench, and he's like cursing under his breath. He's frustrated. He's angry. And I remember thinking, like, what is he so upset about? Now, I don't know if that means he sensed, this coming. I don't think so. Or maybe, like, Malone is really on edge right now. I almost feel like he's not seeing the Matrix because it's like he's so blinded by rage.
Yeah, man. I put on Twitter, this is one of the roughest stretches he's ever had in his career that I can remember. Like, there were times when Malone would make really questionable decisions as far as rotations and things were concerned early on in his career, in his tenure. But it's like you didn't really expect anything from the team. Like, he's been sort of like asleep at the wheel the last couple games, in my opinion. Like, he last game was him trying to send a message to his starters and just being in my opinion, childish.
And the starters started this game really poorly tonight. So that's one of the things is you wonder, like, how do they respond? Was the message received?
Well, they did, but that a lot of it was just Jokic was like had maximum effort to start this game, but he was being really sloppy. He was like pressing. He was missing shots. Like
he was really pressing.
He was really pressing.
It was weird.
At the end, I was like, yo, why is Facu still? Like, why don't we go to the actual like starters, the Vlatko's of the world, or why don't we try, some of the things that were working previously? But Malone was just like, well, no, I've made this decision. That's what we're going to stick with. And it's like, man, it's funny because like I'm a person who like constantly defends him and his decisions because I do really see the growth that this team has undergone and like the positive things his sort of like taskmaster approach has brought to the team. But like, you're right. Like sometimes it just is he gets so seemingly pig-headed and stubborn about things that it just can cause the team to have setbacks, and like you almost wonder if he's like happy about it.
Right.
It's like so bizarre. It's I'm extremely frustrated with Malone today.
You say asleep at the wheel. I don't think that's how I would describe it. I would say I feel like he's pushing the wrong buttons. Remember earlier this year where he gets the technical and thrown out, and it was like, and then like the Nuggets actually collapsed after that. It was almost feels like there's been a bunch of those this year, and I don't know. Right. One of the problems might be like the Nuggets. There might not be a right button to push. I mean, this is the season from hell. Everything sucks, but it was like the last game was that the right, but it certainly didn't feel like it. Nuggets end up losing tonight. They come out horribly. It wasn't like they rallied around that moment and came out. What got them back into the game after a horrendous start was the bench, who you don't think he pushed the right buttons with the bench. Like the bench played well last game. So
maybe that, I mean, you could argue that maybe he imbued them with confidence.
Okay, maybe you could argue
but then
that
they
did play well, but then they collapsed. They collapsed. It does feel just like some bad buttons. I will say this to your point about Facu, because I think we can nitpick some of the decisions he made. The one was he played Facu tonight 33 minutes in two stretches. That means he played a 17-minute stretch and a 16-minute stretch consecutively, and that's just a lot, man. That's just an awful lot. And he was on the court with that second unit when it was collapsing, and you think like this just happened in the last game. The starters collapsed. What happens? Everybody out. Yeah. Tonight, second unit's collapsing. Everybody up but Facu, you stay in. And it's just like it's a weird sort of mixed message, and obviously, it didn't end up working out. I think Michael Malone this has been a weird year from him. I'm not ready to full on go like, hey, like he's having like this is bad. This is that. I'm just saying he seems as off as the team is right now.
Yeah, I want to go back to that Facu stretch because it's not entirely on Facu, but also he played a lot last night. Then he plays a lot in this game. There was one point in the game that Eric said, hey, Facu was a plus 24 right now. That's how good he's playing.
He was having a great night.
And then he finishes with a -1. And then you talk about those two, like the two long stretches. I didn't even see that while it was happening because it just looked like so much going on at the time that I didn't pay attention to that. But when you sit and think about it, why did he play that long? I understand Bones did not have a good game. He really didn't have a good game. But also, Austin Rivers started out so hot that maybe you ride him for a little bit, or maybe you give him a little bit of those minutes where you're not having to go the complete time with Facu at the point guard. Also, you have Monte Morris, who's not playing great, but he didn't play bad. Like, I just don't understand why the bench was out there for so long. And again, they played so long last night that it was just like, what went into making Facu play the entire time where he plays so well and then you make him play bad?
Yeah, dude, I don't know. You're right. I was thinking about that exact phrase earlier. Like, he's just pushing the wrong buttons. Like, he really is just making the wrong choices at the wrong time. And I think that's what I mean when he's sort of asleep at the wheel. He's like not. I mean, I guess that just implies that he's just like not doing anything.
Right, like he's not trying or focused. I think he's trying.
It's kind of like the buttons he's pushing is just like sticking with things too long.
Yeah.
Right. It's like not being like trying so hard to not be reactionary that he's not reacting.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man. It really is tough. Like, the Nuggets are already the margin of error for this team is already so thin, and it really does take like everyone that is involved in the game, including the one pulling the strings, to be like on their game and like get the most out of what they have, and it's just not happening right now. It's super frustrating.
Here's my biggest concern with Michael Malone. He's very aware of how exhausting this stretch of basketball is for the team and everything else. And he's, I think, aware of like, hey, you need to be positive. Sometimes we always hear this, a guy struggling. I just knew I had to wrap my arms around him and tell him I love him as a person. And, like he always does this. Yeah. I feel like he's freaking out more than anyone. Maybe, again, he's seeing something that we're not. And he's like, man, this team's not in a great spot. But I feel like he is Will Ferrell in Old School right now in his underwear saying, nobody freak out. We've got to keep our composure. Like he's just, and I wonder if there's a little bit of that, like the team needs a little bit of a different energy from him right now. But I don't know. I mean, look, Michael Malone wasn't on the court tonight. Let's go to number 2 now. So Michael Malone, he got our first topic here. Eric, I'll let you go. Number 2.
Number 2.
This is an easy one to me. This is a very easy one. I hate to do it, man.
Barton?
It's your turn, man. I'm not up.
I don't know, man, because like it's tough because almost every player had a great stint and a terrible stint in this game. Like every player. Jokic started off terrible, ended up great. Really everybody. Barton had that stretch in the third where it was like, this guy's back. And then he just had some terrible, boneheaded mistakes in the fourth when the chips were really down and we really needed to just get the ball into Jokic, and he would just... Like on one play in particular, I remember he just like, instead of getting the ball to Jokic, just drove the lane, shot the ball.
Without looking, how many total shots would you think he made tonight?
That he made?
How many do you think he made in a row there at that stretch?
Well, he got 10 points, so and I think one of them was a 3, so probably 4.
He had 4 made field goals tonight.
Yeah, then they were all in the third.
To me, he's the easy next guy up. In fact, he might have been my number 1 here. And look, you guys know me. I'm a Barton guy. Like I have his back. I think he's a good player. I think he adds value to this team. There's something wrong with him right now. And the one complaint I've always had for him was his game does not scale down, meaning he only knows one way of playing. And right now he doesn't have that in him. I mean, he had it for 4 shots in a row. It was great. Those helped blow this game open. But that fourth quarter, they went small to close out this game. Jokic has a mismatch, and they were collapsing so hard because they just did not respect anybody. Nobody could make a shot. They just said basically, I dare any one player to make a wide open shot. They couldn't do it. But also, Jokic still had the mismatch. Half the time they didn't even get him the ball, and a lot of that was Will Barton just calling his own number when it's like, man, you don't have it tonight. You're not getting it. Yeah. So to me, I'm concerned. I said this last show. I've said it a handful of times really over the last 10, 15 games or so because this has been a downward trend for him. I'm very concerned about Will Barton because I think he is a negative player right now, and he's a negative player in a way that actively takes away from Denver's most positive player.
Yeah, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself be the villain.
This is the thing. I know fully healthy Barton is a good player, but
we've seen that tonight, honestly.
Yeah, it's true.
Will Barton started this game that I want to say in the first half, he might have had 1 shot that he took, 0 for 1, but he was staying out of the way.
He was
staying out of the way.
It's a good point.
But I think that in there, like in his head, he's like, I need to bounce back. I need to get back.
I think he just caught fire. I think he just caught fire.
He caught fire, but also he was like setting guys up. That pass, he had a pass to Jokic for the easy layup.
Yeah, it was a great pass.
Found a read. He found Vlatko for a backdoor pass that only him and Jokic are going to try to make that type of pass.
Yeah.
And then from there he was like, okay, like I can see myself in the rhythm. I can see myself going. And then from there he caught fire, which is such a good thing, but it's such a bad thing with Will Barton because then he gets in his own head where he says, okay, I'm back. This is me. I'm going to keep on going. This is a game that it's me. So now he's starting to look off other guys. Now he's starting to not go to the bread and butter, which is Jokic. That portion where he went and took that contested shot late in the game instead of finding his best player and the best player in the NBA, that's the one that keeps on going in everyone's head. But there was plays before that he was doing bad. And also, that's another thing that falls on Malone. He played him for so long. Like,
I know.
I understand that he's hot right now, but you already know you've been around Will Barton for so long that you know that he's going to continue to do that. So get him out of the way. Get somebody else in there just so that he doesn't overplay it, or tell him to calm down. That's where you call it timeout. Like, hey, we don't need that. That is not what is needed right now.
I after he shot that shot and missed it, Malone yelled at him from the sideline, and I saw Barton looked and was like,
This is what I mean, Malone, man. Like he says, his vibes are very, very negative right now. But do you have some comments on Barton tonight? I mean, it almost
tough,
feels weird
man.
piling on him, but like he's been
is.
bad.
It's exactly that. I mean, we were talking, just like Dev said, we were talking earlier about how Barton was just sort of like acting as a conduit. He was like a go-between. It wasn't making it all about him. And you're right. As soon as he caught fire, and he caught fire in that third. It was like, yo, this dude's back. And then, just like you say, like he thought he was back, and then he started pressing, and then he started making it's just always this. It's always this way with Barton. Like he'll play really, really well, and then he'll always have 1 to 2 plays that are like, yo, I need to make sure every one of my haters is fed.
Is justified.
Just enough to point to. So even if I have a good game, you can point at this 3 or 4 things that I did.
You know what was really, really bad on Barton tonight? The defense.
I wanted to go here.
It was horrible, honestly, and it's not. That's where you feel like he might be injured, just because he can't get to the spots that he used to. He has no explosion or just no way, like no lateral movement. He's pushing guys out to try to get them to switch. It puts the defense in like bad spots, but he can't be that guy. And also that was something that was so big for the Nuggets early on because he was this versatile defender. He was a lanky guy that, could step out on those guards. And in this game, they needed him to actually be a defender. So when he doesn't have himself going offensively and he doesn't have himself going defensively, why is he playing so many minutes?
I know. So here's the thing with you defensively. He is so slow off the blocks right now. If he has to like rotate over, the ball gets kicked out and it's like, all right, sprint, right? The dead sprint. His dead sprint on that is so slow. Like he can't get off. He can't go from 0 to 10 very fast. Like the ramp up is like, he's in first gear. And so there's a lot of closeouts where he's just nowhere close to contesting because he can't get there very quick. So I'm with you. This is actually what scares me. Like the fact that his game doesn't scale down. He makes 3 in a row. He shoots a 4th one. Like, okay, shoots a 5th one, shoots a 6th one. You're like, dude, you're on fire. You can heat check. Once you're not missed the heat check, like, all right, let's get back to the rhythm. He does 2 more heat checks to make sure. The next thing you know, you're 3 of 6. You're like, you just ruined the whole point of being on fire. But it's also the defense. The fact that right now, I mean, the Nuggets defense is a joke. It falls into these ruts where, I mean, they had a 6-minute stretch where they didn't allow a bucket tonight and still gave up 115 points. They scored 115 points, actually, if you think about it, in 42 minutes because they had 6 minutes. They didn't score any. So it's just and I think he's a huge part of it. I don't know what the answer is. Denver is so shorthanded. Michael Malone in the pregame today talked about Bones has, rolled his ankle, but he's going to go. Like maybe we'd love to rest him, but there's no choice. He's too important to us. We're going to play him. I think the same is true of Barton. They're looking at it and they're like,
that's what I mean. The margin of error for this team right now is just so thin.
I'd love to see Davon Reed.
Because you're like, oh yeah, well, Davon Reed. Then it's like, yo, we'd love to see PJ play. Oh right, he's hurt. We'd love to see Jamal play.
Davon Reed didn't even get on the floor.
He didn't get on the floor.
He got out, didn't he?
No, he did not play tonight. That's what I'm saying is I would rather see Davon Reed because we're going to get to this in segment 2.
Damn.
But Vlatko Čančar got a start tonight, and I just love the way he looks when he plays.
Great.
Like he looks great, and we're going to get to. And Davon Reed to me is similar. Like right, like we're going to get to that. But let's take our first break. First thing I want to tell you guys in our break, Lightshade Dispensary, brand new partner for us. I believe going to be a long-time partner. I think a long-time partner here.
Let me just say I've already used the discount.
You've already used it. Okay. I believe it. And so Lightshade Dispensary, they got locations all over town. But here's what I'll tell you, because a lot of people are like, I don't partake in marijuana. They got other stuff there, though. Here's what's great about it. They have this has become real popular in Colorado. People don't know. The CBD creams.
Yep.
So if you have like arthritis or just like joints, muscle pains, whatever, you used to put on like Bengay or this or that. They've got their own proprietary thing. It's Escape Artists. It's a highest awarded topical brand in Colorado. Prioritizes quality and consistency, and they have the ratio. I don't know what this means, but a 1-to-1 and even a 20-to-1 CBD high CBD ratio. I don't know what that means, but I hear it's the best in all of Colorado. 800 creams. They're the highest potency for deep muscle tissue discomfort, non-greasy, non-staining, so you're not gonna like get it all over your shirt or your pants or whatever. Fast absorbing, and here's the cool thing: It takes effect in 10 minutes. So you have an ache. You tried this thing again. It's called Escape Artist.
I know.
10 minutes and you get relief.
Do you think it would work to rub it on my temples?
You should try it.
Try and numb my brain out.
I'm going to give that a try.
Try to get rid of headaches. So don't forget light shade. Also want to tell you guys about another one, snooze sleep. You guys know about snooze sleep. I am one of the lucky ones. I got the mattress. I got the adjustable bed.
I got to tell you, ever since that, you've just looked more rested.
So rested. Are you kidding?
Dare I say, beautiful.
I'm telling you, memory foam is so cool. Like I sit in that thing and it's like you slowly just kind of sink into the perfect most. It's like you're on if I could describe it, I'd say it's like sleeping on a cloud.
Wow.
That's what it feels like.
So you lay on it and you fall straight through because a cloud is not actually solid. You fall to earth and
then
killed.
completely, that's exactly what it's like. So check them out. They've also got the snooze flip. It's the only 4-in-1 mattress because it has those firm on one side, not on the other, hot on one side, cold on the other. So you got all of those different things there. And of course, it gets delivered straight to your door. I'm telling you guys, 2022, make it the year of a new mattress. You're not sleeping well, high anxiety, this or that. Maybe it's your mattress. Get good night's sleep. Check them out. The snooze flip. All right, back here. We're not done airing our grievances on this Festivus. It is Festivus.
Airing our grievances.
Michael Malone is number 1. Will Barton is number 2. Who is number 3, Dev? Number 3, blame
Earlier,
game.
I made a mistake, and I said that Monte Morris did not play that bad. Monte Morris played horribly. He really did.
Yeah, he really did.
And also, when you're down, think about it. The Nuggets were down 4 actual starters. So you need Monte Morris to step in.
3 starters.
No. They're still missing Jamal Murray. They're still missing Michael Porter Jr. And Aaron Gordon did not play tonight.
That's 3.
Yeah, okay. So he's got to be the other guy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
This was a night that they needed him to step up. Will Barton is in a funk. Who's going to be the second guy? If you had to go to, like, looking at the Nuggets starters tonight, who was the second guy that you needed to help Jokic offensively?
Honestly, the weird thing, you know who the second leading scorer tonight was Facu, but the third leading scorer tonight tied was Vlatko. This just tells you, like,
That's a
Vlatko
problem.
comes in. That's a problem.
Why did he not come back in?
So you need your point guard to not only set the tone, they got benched the night before. So that's on your star player and that's on your point guard to get things going. We talk about them coming out with not a rhythm again. You would expect your point guard to be the one that, like, sets the tone. Monte did not set the tone. He doesn't even, like, I'm not going to say he doesn't have, like, that leadership ability as far as getting guys in line, but you don't see him upset or screaming or trying to get guys, in the right direction. He didn't score. He didn't set guys up. He did not defend at a high, like, he just really didn't do anything. And you need something else from your starting point guard. So I feel like you have to put it on him. And there was, Facu was the only guard that played okay. So that's tough.
Yeah. It's a couple games in a row, too, of just kind of getting cooked. Ish Smith just had his way. I mean, Ish Smith's a Nuggets killer, and he comes in. Do you have any Monte thoughts, or did you just, like, he was just invisible?
Exact. I mean, I'm looking at the stats now.
One bucket.
1 bucket, 3 points, one of 7. Just, you're right. Like, just not, and like only 3 assists also. Like, what was he doing?
Well, I didn't even know he played 27 minutes.
Right.
He was just gone out there. Like, he really was not on the floor. I don't even remember him.
No,
and
I
also,
don't
when Ish Smith got into the game, that's who I seen the entire time. Like, so Terry Rozier and Ish Smith both got cooking. Where was Monte the whole time? Like, he didn't, like, offer any resistance. He was a ghost out there.
Damn it.
He wasn't out there.
It sucks so bad.
It does suck so bad.
I have a new person I'd like to be mad at.
Okay.
Kelly Oubre Jr.
Hair?
Well, that, but also
I thought that's where you were going with this.
well, listen. Yes.
Okay.
His hair is terrible.
Yeah.
I put it on Twitter. He obviously looked at Pete Davidson and the success he's been having.
Yeah.
Modeled his entire look after that. He killed us.
Yeah.
Kelly Oubre Jr. killed us. That 4-point play was when we went from cheering to keep the game close enough so that Jokic should come back in so we could selfishly collect on all of our bets because he was right at the door of hitting almost all of them. And then they hit that 4-point play. It went from being up 14 to being up 10. And we were like, oh, shit.
Yeah, it happened really quick.
Like, this is no longer fun or funny anymore. Like, now they got to lock in. And the Nuggets, like, never answered the bell. And it just, you felt it. You felt it happening. I just couldn't, like, and he was hitting his threes. Like, He was hitting his free throws. Like, I've never felt like so oppressed by Kelly Oubre Jr.
Oppressed. This just made me think of another one because you said, why didn't Vlatko come back in? You know, he was a starter, but why didn't he close the game? And then I thought, well, because they went small. But then I thought, this is another thing, another Malone trait. The like, we're going to match up with you. Charlotte's not good. Charlotte's not good. You're at home. You're the Denver Nuggets. Like, no, you don't need to worry about that. You're up by what?
Make them adjust.
Make them adjust. Like, oh, okay, they're going to go small. Well, I trust my style and my guys. We're going to win. And by the way, you're saying we got to go small to guard him. He gave up 38 points in the fourth quarter. Didn't work anyway going small here and sticking with that. So just another one of those. But to me, it's more of the spiritual thing of like the tactic of like what we're going to do like overrides the no. We're who we are. We don't worry about damn Ish Smith and Kelly Oubre. Like, oh, we got to adjust.
Right.
So that's a little bit frustrating. Anyway, I thought Vlatko was great. I honestly don't understand why he doesn't play more.
I don't either. And I especially don't understand why he didn't play more tonight. When he was playing very well, we got a little bit of FIBA Vlatko. Like, he looked like the international player that was lighting it up next to Luka in the Olympics. Like, he was. You know, the past like 3 or 4 games when he's been given an opportunity, it's like been frustrating me because he's not been making the most of it. He's been missing a lot of like up close shots, a lot of bunnies, like a lot of just like things that you need anybody on the floor to make to be able to earn their minutes. And tonight he absolutely was. He was 6 of 7 the last time I looked.
He was 5 of 6. 5
of 6. He missed 1 shot and
4 rebounds. 2
why
assists.
exactly. Why he didn't get rewarded with
only
more
a
time.
-1 too, which is
down
the
the
second
stretch.
best on the team tonight.
So brutal.
You know, Bones Highland you mentioned was off tonight. Could not make anything. 1 of 8 from the field. 1 of 5 from 3. He had a couple boneheaded plays. I'm worried. You know, we've seen him at not 100%, and it looked kind of like it did tonight. A little hesitant. Some turnovers that were like, what the hell are these? Barton, by the way, had a couple turnovers. The missed shots were one thing, but some of the turnovers he had where it was like driving into the paint against 3 guys, and you're like, what were you hoping happened there? So
yeah, but not to just go over Bones Highland. This is another game and another opportunity that you got to see him on the second night of a back-to-back, and he has not put those together.
Right.
He really just cannot.
That's a good point.
Like, I mean, he's a rookie, and it's not even a rookie wall. It's the second night of a back-to-back. He just can't seem to get himself going, and we can say, like, you know, it's an injury, but he was healthy enough to play. He was healthy enough to take 8 shots.
He looked small
in
he looked
14
small
minutes
tonight. He looked
like,
small.
And also, you need him to be the guy in the second unit that gets them going. Like, this was a night that offense was needed. You knew that you were down your starters. You knew that, you know, you didn't have Aaron Gordon, so you needed a second option for Jokic. Now they're going to have to rely on their rookie in that second unit, and he didn't have it going. So you got to see him be able to put it together on a night-to-night basis, and especially on those second nights of back-to-backs.
Austin Rivers did play well tonight. He goes 3 of 5 from the 3-point line, provided an important spark. He also grabbed 5 rebounds, which is, you know, quite a bit.
He had a great game.
I'm surprised he didn't, again, get the nod there at the end. He would have probably been, if you are trying to say we're going to match up, well, Austin Rivers can guard, so that might have been a good opportunity there to put him in, but again, not the decision Michael Malone.
Also, with Austin Rivers playing well last night, you would think that you would reward him for last night, you know, playing well, and then he comes out and he starts out. He's the only one that, you know, has himself going in that first half. So you would be like, hey, this is a guy that's been working hard. This is a guy that he picked up some DNPs. Monte, you're not playing well right now. And Bones, you're not playing well right now. We're going to go with the vet on the team that's playing hard. That's the lesson.
I know. I'm so frustrated with Malone. He just made every wrong decision tonight.
Yeah, he's having a rough one. The guy that wasn't, I don't think, super consequential to the game tonight, but Zeke Naji had a few plays tonight that I was like, the ones that I needed, like the hustle, grabbed a rebound because he wanted it more plays. And it wasn't that many because if you actually look at the box score, he had 2 rebounds in 17 minutes. So somehow the plays he made stood out, but then you look at it and you're like, but he didn't actually grab that many. So I don't really have a ton of Zeke take. He did play some very good defense tonight. There was a couple possessions where it's like, hey, he moved his feet. He did a good job, but
he had a couple of those plays again where he in the first half got rebounds, got passes in deep, and made dunks, which is like so unlike Zeke. And then in the second, it was him getting in deep in the paint and getting the ball slapped out of his hands over and over again. This is his trademark somehow.
Yeah, what I liked about Zeke tonight was he was active. Like, it wasn't the fact that he was grabbing boards, but he was always around them or boxing guys out or trying to tip it out to his teammates. He also was, making a move that was to the rim. He got fouled on a couple of them just because he was making the right move. So that's really what you want to see. There's still a lot of those, young player type of things that he does out there, but that was like a step in the right direction, at least in those regards.
Let's break down Jokic's game tonight because it was a weird one. 29 points, 21 rebounds, the second most. He had his career high is 22, so he had 21 rebounds, almost had his career high. 34 shots is a career high. He went just 13 of 34. Part of why he grabbed so many rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds, they were probably all his shot misses. Like, he had a couple of where he missed them and grabbed them. He's the only player tonight in a positive. He was a +2. This was not a great Jokic game. Like, I honestly watched tonight. One of my biggest takeaways is that Jokic, to me, this last week has felt like the series against Phoenix, which was Jokic good? Yes. Was he transcendent? Not necessarily, but he was really good. But more than anything, he just looks fried. He looks at the end of his rope, and I'm starting to worry about tonight. He was. We talked about that first quarter. I'm not trying to say I don't like doing the hypothesis. What did he mean by this body language? But that first quarter was just so uncharacteristic.
It was
really forcing it.
It was. He just came out. To me, I saw the timeline suggesting that he was trying to make a point to Malone by being overly and almost comically aggressive. But I think he just wanted to come out and score. And he was really oddly off to start the game. He just was missing everything, which is just you never see from Jokic. This was the strangest game I think Jokic has ever played. Yeah. This was the most up and down, bizarre. Started off with more energy, but more in a misguided way than I've ever seen him. Turnovers, missed shots, but just still going for it, shooting threes immediately, which he never does. And then he locked in, and then it was Jokic, man, getting every single rebound. Oh, he's
dominant in the second quarter.
Getting absolutely every rebound, making all of his shots, et cetera, et cetera. And then, when it got into crunch time, then he had a couple of, weird...
He did. He definitely did.
Where he got triple teamed, but I guess he just maybe didn't have any faith in anybody else on the floor. So he got stripped, missing shot. It was just the most up and down, bizarre game by Jokic. But also, if you look at the numbers, transcendently brilliant in the way that only Jokic can be.
I don't think you can pin this game on Jokic. I saw a couple people say
dude, if you pin this game on Jokic, what do you like?
It almost reminds me of. Did you see the StatMuse tweet that was the Lakers are 0-3 since signing Isaiah Thomas, which is factually correct, but the implication of course is way off. I feel the same with Jokic tonight. This was a below average game, as weird as that sounds, because he had 21 rebounds and 29 points. There was aspects of it that were awesome, but it was a below average. I mean, it was a bad first quarter, and it was a less
bad
than
end.
good. Yeah, and so it was below average. But at the same time, it's to me, he was the best Nugget. Yeah. In fact, I think he is our DraftKings Sportsbook King of the game. He's let's go.
The next closest Nuggets scored
run
12
through a
points.
wall. Yeah. 29 points. Yeah,
look at that stat line. It's
it's
disgusting.
absolutely insane.
You shouldn't be on a team where you score 29 points, secure 20 rebounds, and lose a game.
I'm so worried about Jokic.
I feel like this was a calibration game for Jokic because I feel like he's having to adjust so many things because he's not playing with a unit that is capable right now. And I feel like he's actually frustrated with what's going on around him. Yeah. Guys not making the right, getting to the right spots. He had a bounce pass out of bounds because he knew what was happening. But just guys are not on the same wavelength as him right now.
That's the most important thing, the wavelength. Because yesterday in the game, first play, that hook pass he throws, and then SportsCenter's Jokic is slinging that thing. I quote tweeted with look at Aaron Gordon because that was not a called play. Yeah. That was Aaron Gordon noticing the balance of the court, setting a perfect flare screen so that Jokic can do the thing that makes him get highlights. This was the opposite of that. This whole game was the first quarter especially, and the fourth quarter especially, where it's the rhythm of it was off the space. I don't think he knew how to read everybody, and so you're right. I think that contributed to it. This is why these things never exist in a vacuum. They happen all the moving pieces. That's why I don't blame Jokic for this. I think there's basketball things that happen that led to him not being good, and then he was below even that.
I mean, it just can't be overstated enough, and we're just it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. The Nuggets are missing 2 max level players.
Yeah.
2 players that are good enough that they receive the maximum amount of salary that you can receive in the NBA. That is not something that you could just like gloss over and pretend like it's not a factor. Like you're left then with players that make enough money that 2 max players can take up that much salary, and that salary is filled in by these players. That's how good the rest of the team is. Like,
yeah, but even tonight it was even worse. Like when we're having to talk,
Aaron
about
Gordon.
Vlatko and Monte Morris and Austin Rivers and Jermichael, Jeff Green. Like these are guys that are on other teams. Right. Other teams aren't thinking about those guys. Right. Like they're good for the Nuggets, but other teams aren't like, hey, those are guys that they really want. That's how they kind of, ended up with the Nuggets. So, like, this was a game that really Jokic had to do everything where it really does become hard. He was getting his shot blocked from behind because it's so much attention on him every single time because he didn't have that escape valve that he usually has. So, it is going to be a difficult game for him. Like you said, this was like the most frustrating game for him. I think for himself also. While he had 29 points and 21 rebounds, that's a monster game for him. He's not satisfied with that game. Even if they won, I think he would have been a little bit off in that game because they're just not on the same page right now. And how do you get to that part?
Yeah. Let's hit our final break. On the other side, we just had 2. We have one segment that's a downer and then another one, a loser's one. That's how bad this game was. It was a double downer.
Double downer?
A double downer. But we're not going to do a triple downer. We're not going to do a triple downer. We're going to bring it up
triple downers?
a little around the association later, some super chats. And maybe we'll just try to pick our. Maybe Eric will call me his friend later.
Well, I don't know about that. Let's go to around the association.
Not yet. First, I'm going to tell you guys about DraftKings Sportsbook. You guys know it's Christmas. It is Christmas. I'm excited. I've got some of my best meals ahead of me, man.
Do you?
I've got some of my best meals.
You're
I'm
beaming.
so
This is the first time I've seen you smile tonight.
Thank you. You guys wait till you see how big I come back. I'm going to be Jokic in 2018.
Holy smokes.
I can't wait.
Or Luka this year.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Sports all day on Christmas, and you know what that means. Gambling all day on Christmas. How else are you going to watch Knicks Hawks? Come on, you got to put something on the line to be able to bet on that horrendous game. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any NBA team to win. And if they do, you get $150 in free bets. It's a great way. I have to read this line. It's a great way to put some extra jingle in your pocket.
Hey!
All DraftKings Sportsbook customers
are they going to pay you in change?
Get in that Christmas spirit with the holiday free bet surprise. Dev, for example, got $50 off of his holiday gift. I got $10. I don't know why that it worked out that way, but that's just the way it worked out. DraftKings, safe, secure, reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. So download DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up. Let them know we sent you there. And remember, you bet $5 on any NBA team, and you win $150 in free bets. What is the safest bet on Christmas if you were to... That's Bucks over the Celtics, maybe? The safest?
Is Giannis back?
Oh, no, it's Jazz over the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Take the Jazz over the Mavericks. That's a
lock.
lock, and then you get your free bets. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. We're also going to tell you about Sexy Pizza. Who's been to the tailgate? Great time. Great time at the tailgate. We're going to know more, though, right? We have one more. We have one more.
It'll be the last game of the season. More than likely, we've already had our nicest, most beautiful days at the tailgate.
So we'll probably have build snowmen, maybe a little snow fort.
And then we'll make them eat sexy pizza.
Then we'll have sexy pizza as well. You know what my favorite sexy pizza is? Because we get all the different ones.
Cheese.
No. I'm a Colorado guy.
Adam likes it with green pepper.
The green chili.
It's not green chili.
It is green chilies. Those are green chilies. Green peppers. Fantastic either way. Fantastic pizza. It's really good. Check them out.
Chili and pizza.
And then lastly, we're going to go to Strava Craft Coffee. You guys know Strava Craft Coffee. They've been one of our longtime partners. The CBD-infused coffee made right here in Colorado.
Let's go,
And you drink it in the mornings and have you honking like a goose. Actually, it won't. It gives you the nice, focus of drinking coffee, but not that, weird jitter. That's the CBD.
I'd like to think when a goose really starts honking, he's very productive at his office job.
I told you guys that I have... What?
Isn't that what that means?
Yeah, I guess that is what it means. I told you guys, every now and then I get the hybrid snow goose in the backyard.
Do you?
Yeah.
This is the first time hearing of this.
It's
It feels like something you would tell a friend.
Every 10 days or so, he flies in. I just get so pumped.
What is a hybrid snow goose?
It's a half Canadian goose, half snow goose. It's a white goose. It's
What
like
is
a
a
white
snow
goose.
goose?
It's an
A snow
abomination.
goose is a
is what
white
he's
goose.
saying.
No, it's I'm just saying, he hangs out with the rest of the geese. It gets a little bit picked on. It's actually pretty sad. So CBD, right now, reminder, if you get 25% off if you use promo code DNVR25, or you could subscribe to Strava Calf. Get it to you every 2, 4, 6, or 8 weeks delivered right to your door. And when you do it on the subscription service, it's 20% off every single time. Fantastic deal. All right, final segment here. Let's kind of bring some positivity. You guys ready for some positivity?
I am starving for some positivity. Look at me.
Starving for some positivity. Go ahead, Eric. Because I don't have any. I was hoping
Oh,
you
you
would
want me
bring.
to give some positivity? Let's see. Something positive about tonight. Well, the first half showed us that Facu Campazzo, when put in the right positions, can be the most dynamic and surprising player in the NBA.
I don't understand. I don't like. It's tough because there are some people in the Nuggets media who have made Facu out to be this person that's almost makes it hard to talk about him. Because I think he's an incredible player to root for.
Oh my God.
The things that make him ineffective at times, as he was down the stretch of this game, are not his fault. It's like I don't like when you dislike a player like that. He's so easy to root for. The things he did tonight that were great were he dove for a loose ball and got it tonight. That was, we talk about 50-50 balls. That might have been the most lopsided. It was a 595 ball, and he got it. That was the most unlikely 50-50 ball ever.
The best part about that is he's the one that initially poked it out of his hands, then went to go get it, and then went and started it all. Also, this was a game from Facu where he played LaMelo Ball off of the court because the coach was so frustrated about how he was just everywhere on the court. Yes, Facu might have got excited or happy from the three-point line, but he generated so many plays and so much offense. He's also willing to put his body on the line for a lot of those charges, and even some of those are blocks that they're just, they're just going to call it a block because he's so small. He just keeps on doing those type of things, but he's such an irritant, and also he's exactly what you want off of the bench. You don't want him to score 25 points off the bench. It's just not what you get off of a bench player, especially with his type of size. He's not Isaiah Thomas in his prime, but he gives you other things. He played a long time where you're going to see ups and downs.
Way too long.
With anybody. That's anybody, in the NBA that's going to play that long. There's going to be times that the other team figures you out. He just got figured out in later in. So I think that, Facu played well, and he's giving you the energy that you need.
One little piece of positivity here. The Nuggets are almost done with this miserable portion of their schedule. I mean, tonight was a home game. You wanted them to get that one. They go on the road now to California. They play the Clippers and then the Warriors. Then they come back home. After that, you turn the calendar into January 1st. You're on the road at Houston, at Dallas to start, but you start to get a lot of home game. Denver has an opportunity now to shift gears. And I wish they would have got the Orlando game. I wish they would have got the Oklahoma City game. I wish they would have got tonight. Those 3 games would have been all the difference in the Nuggets season. This whole season would feel different if it weren't for that. But they do have an opportunity to establish a rhythm and start to feel good, even given all the injuries here. And it all starts here coming up.
Part of me wishes that they would shift the NBA calendar so that it would start after the new year, because there's something about the Nuggets seem to go on a Eastern road trip around Christmas, New Year's, that they always get slaughtered on. They seem to always have a thing where, and you said Coach Carl was talking about this, that players sort of start to look towards Christmas, time off, focus seems to be off. It seems like if there's a thing on the horizon, you can, sort of lose focus at a team from time to time.
To be fair, sadly, I hate this because he actually said Christmas and New Year's as 1.
Oh, did he?
As in, so maybe we're not even out of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wish that the season would just start after the New Year's and then just go straight. Like,
yeah, that would be nice.
Because there are, I mean, when your team is not going well, like the Nuggets are not going well, like there are these like built-in things that come up. All-Star break, also like the lead up to the All-Star break. If you're not going well, like focus is going to be lacking at that point too. So we're just in hell.
Yeah.
We're out of purgatory. We're in hell.
We're in hell now. Damn it, Allie. Do we have any super chat? Anybody crazy enough to super chat after this game? Oh my gosh, the people, we love you. Oh my God, that's incredible.
Real ones.
You're also insane. Absolutely, all of you. Brian says, everyone's saying the Nuggets are either the Spurs or Warriors. Maybe we're the Thunder. And what has Scott Brooks ever done? We need a new coach. Man, Brian, the last part aside, I'm not going to lie. I thought about this just the other day. Just the other day, I thought about this, and I was like, man, it almost has like this Thunder vibes or something. The difference is, well, I don't want to talk about it. Good super chat. Don't love
Where
it.
did Scott Brooks thing come from?
He's saying
Brooks
Michael
is the
Malone is
coach
Scott Brooks.
of the Thunder, and he wasn't able to get it done with
Like
the top
in the
players.
past?
Scott Brooks is a coach that's like
I'm like, he's not their coach right now.
Scott Brooks is a funny one because I do think Scott Brooks is like the most just a guy coach. He's not bad. He's just not good or this or that, but he has really stayed around the NBA for a long time because he was coaching Kevin Durant. Which helps a lot. Jack says, the Nuggets franchise is a drug and we're wasted. We are so wasted, man. We're just
mainlining Nuggets games.
I'm just saying it turns you, it makes you make bad decisions. You feel bad, like it's ruining us. Jack, thanks for that, man. Dylan says Jokic checks out with 18-point lead. 5 minutes later, checks in only at 5 with no momentum. Like Swipa says, bench is grown men that don't do their job. The bench is grown men that don't do their job.
Yeah, they got to do better.
Yeah, they got to do better. All right, what else we got? Ray Vaughn, King of the Chat, says, not high on running the same zone for 48 minutes. That said, Malone often seems stubborn, but nothing spurs him to change like losses. Malone's going to have a rough Christmas, man. Rough Christmas.
I bet he has a wonderful Christmas.
Do you think he does?
No,
I bet his family loves him. He receives the tender hugs of his children, and he enjoys the day and doesn't think about the Nuggets at all.
Yeah, then what happens the next day?
That's terrible.
Also,
In
like,
reality, when he starts getting to bed, it hits.
So we're just talking about Christmas.
Yeah, it hits.
there's no way on earth Michael Malone doesn't think about the Nuggets on Christmas.
You're right. I don't know.
What are you talking about? Come on, man. Robert says, bench the starters last game only to watch the bench give up a big lead this game, call a timeout, and come back with the same exact lineup? Guys, I don't know what to tell you, man.
That was a shocker. Really,
Yeah.
I thought so too. I was like, he doesn't want the Hornets to put their starters back in, so he's going to keep his starters on the bench.
Pushing all the wrong buttons,
You
man.
know what, Robert? I think Michael Malone is the thing I'm most angry about.
Here's what I will say. I might have told this story once before. My high school coach, my sophomore year, he gives a speech. It's a great speech. Last game of the year, rah, rah, whatever. Great. I'll always remember it. We go out, we win, emotional, whatever, this way. Next year, he gives the same speech. Another big game. It's kind of like, oh, wow. And it's a long speech. It's not
You're
like a
like,
little
wait a minute.
We're like, yeah, like the thing. They're like, we heard this
and then
one
you
before.
watch Air Force One.
Yeah,
You're like, wait a minute.
How many seniors did you have on the team?
But then here's the thing. The senior year, then, we come back, gives the same speech again. We're all like, bro, come on, man. Anyway, point is, sometimes the speeches get a little tired. They get a little like and maybe Malone's running out of material. I don't know. We got Peps says, on a positive note, Bones has a off shooting night after rolling an ankle or being out, then gets a career high the following game every time. Fingers crossed for 30.
Let's freaking go, Peps.
I haven't followed that trend, so I didn't realize that.
Yeah, maybe
That is
it's just-
true.
It's the day off.
Here's
He
the
gets
thing
day
about
off.
here's the thing about Bones. I do. I monitor this as well as somebody who's very high on Bones and has been very vocal about how high he is on Bones. Like, he keeps getting hurt, and then like what happens is he reaches a career high, then he falls down somehow. He's out for COVID. He hurts his ankle. He comes back. It's a slow rise back up. Then he hits his stride again, and he hits a new career high. So we're just on the incline.
This song is like my soul.
Oh, it's so sad in the bar right
So
now.
sad.
Dude, everyone in the bar right now is
is
just like crying into their beers.
Such
Into
a
their
crying into
member-sized
your
beers
beard
full
right
of
now.
tears.
Full of tears. David Walker says Malone is scrambling for answers that I'm not sure exist. It's a great point. He'll get the blame, but this team may just not be very good as currently constructed.
They're not.
I mean, they're definitely not very good.
That's why we're in purgatory.
The one thing I will say, he sort of constructed this team, but all right.
Well,
what else?
but he didn't construct it. No team on earth can withstand the injuries that the Nuggets have had. We watched the Warriors fall into obscurity last year because they lost players of the caliber that the Nuggets lost.
Yeah.
Until we get our actual strength back, you can't expect them to be the team we want them to be. We can hope and we can pray for it, but it's just simply they don't have the same level of the same margin for error, as we keep saying. Like, you need to rely on role players to step up and play like starters, and that it just can't happen all the time.
Carlos says, sorry to be a downer, but this team is just not a contender, and I don't want in a few months to press Jamal to rescue. Rather go to the lottery. I mean, here's the thing about that comment. I mean, like, look, you're not wrong right now. Like, if this was the Nuggets, right now you would feel that way. Jamal's return is not till likely March now, it sounds like. So it's 2 more months, man. It's 2 more months. Like, just so much changes over that course. Maybe nothing changes, Carlos. Maybe nothing changes. But this idea of, like, we need to decide about Jamal coming back or not now. Like, come on, man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's pump the brakes. I'll take a deep breath. Let's go eat our Christmas meal.
Never too high, never too low. Right now,
I say always too high, always too low.
Right now, we are too low. Everyone in the chat that I'm reading, you are too low. Chill out. Like,
don't you know? I've said this before. This is my Reddit handle, Icarus Adam, because I love to ride the highs and lows, man. What's the point of getting wings if you're not going to fly?
Icarus flew too high and then died.
Correct. Imagine the flight, though.
What a
view! What a view!
Ridiculous!
What a
thing.
view, baby!
YOLO!
YOLO! You would get a pair of wax wings and just fly around the bottom like this.
No, I would fly to the level of a championship.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Well, you know what? Just we're different.
And I wouldn't then.
No offense to you, but I'm different.
Yeah, you died.
I'm different.
You died.
Around the association, Allie, cue that graphic. Let's go around the association. Woo! There's a lot. Association was popping tonight, you guys. There it is. Are you impressed? That's the graphic.
That's it,
guys. No, that's the one. All right, the Utah Jazz destroy the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're great. God, this is going to be a tough one. The Jazz.
Yeah, Jazz.
They hit a little speed bump a little bit ago. Malik Beasley, 33 points tonight. Did I read that right?
Malik Beasley
33
went
points.
insane on the night that the Nuggets needed a second guy.
They did need a guy to make some threes.
In that game, Jaden McDaniels had a good game. The only reason I bring him up is because his brother had a hell of a game tonight. I was actually shocked. Was he a G League player? I was asking that all day.
I don't know.
Just probably looked it up. But he was everywhere in that game. But yeah, I mean, I'm starting to now like when the Timberwolves lose, and I don't even know why. They're not even that good.
Because Denver
the
fell.
same,
yeah, we fell down into that tier now, so we're like battling the Timberwolves.
Donovan
and
Mitchell goes
and
for 28 points.
Kings.
20 and 17 game for Gobert.
Sweet, dude. The Warriors, 113-104. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, who have somehow been on. Man, John Morant comes back. They can't buy a win. Did he play tonight, though?
Yes.
He did play tonight?
Mm-hmm.
He sure did, man. All right. I don't. Look, John Morant's good, man. He's the heart and soul of that team. It is weird to me that they lose him and then they win every game. He comes back, they immediately go 0-2. That's just weird, man.
Well, if I were to hypothesize as to why this is happening, is that they're relying on him too heavily, and he's not back to form yet.
I have another hypothesis. Do you want to hear it?
I'd love to hear it.
Steph Curry had 46 points. I think that was actually what happened tonight.
Jesus Christ!
He had 46 points, including 8 of 14 from 3. He's really good, and probably going to win the MVP.
Just look at their points. They had 2 guys scoring double.
Two guys scored in double figures. Man, oh my God, man. You're right. Gary Payton had 22. Curry had 46. Everybody else single figures. My God.
And then also everyone else is in the positive besides one guy.
I don't really care about this stuff, but Jokic MVP took a big hit this week, man.
Sure did.
Took a big hit this week. This was
a
tough week for the Jokic MVP bet. The Phoenix Suns, guys, also, man, even around the association
I hate
sucks.
around the association.
Suns, 113-101 over the Thunder. I will say this. That's a close game for the Thunder, man, are kind of good. They're like the best bad team in the NBA by far.
Beat the hell out of us.
They did, and they've had some big ones and then competed with a very good Suns team. You guys, another team that sucks, just like the Nuggets do, the Dallas Mavericks. They lose to the Milwaukee Bucks tonight, 102-95. Luka's still out. Yes, he is. Luka's still out. They've actually played okay without Luka. It's kind of weird.
As you're explaining that they suck and they lost tonight.
Well, they do say that. The Wizards. The West Side Wizards.
Finally.
Man, you guys want to know who's down bad. Kemba Walker gets 44 points, 9 rebounds,
44?
8 assists. 44 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists tonight in a loss.
Remember when Kemba Walker wasn't able to crack the rotation for the Knicks?
He got, and then they started losing as soon as they did that, even though it was, again, not correlation and causation there. But
what a weird spot to be in, for your coach to give up on you, and then he's forced to play you.
Yeah.
After bringing you in there, he's forced to play you when you just go berserk.
Yeah.
It's just like a middle finger up the entire time. You have to.
Wow.
Oh, God. What am I doing with my life?
Miami Heat get a win tonight against the Detroit Pistons, 115 to 112. Somehow they're 20-13, even though I swear they are not a good team. What happened there? Trey Lyles goes for a career high tonight, guys.
28.
The Detroit Pistons, 28 points. 11 of 11 from the foul line. Man, I was thinking he must have gone off. How did he get 11 free throws? He drawing fouls out there or something? It's probably a bunch of accidental. Somehow he just happened to get 11 free throws on
How
accident.
did Duncan Robinson do? Because he is cooking.
Yeah, he's cooking.
He is cooking.
Hey,
Duncan
guys,
Robinson.
I'm cooking.
Oh, my God. He was 0 of 6.
Oh, man.
I am cooking.
He
now.
might have. Did he get cooked by Trey Lyles?
Oh, no. I am cooked.
Do they? You think Trey Lyles talks trash?
Yeah.
Also,
Trey Lyles.
they lost
The most silent trash talk ever. Those two guys are just they're just under each other's breath, ugh.
Tyler Hero had 29 points in that game.
He is
did
a
have
hero.
29, man. Who was that list we saw? My guy Sean Hankin, I love him, but that list had Tyler
That's the
Hero.
worst.
Who was it ahead of? Who was he ahead of? Jason
Tyrese
Tatum.
Maxey was up there. Yeah, Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Trey Young.
The best players under 26 or something, and oh my God, it was the worst list I ever seen in my life.
In
Luka was
life.
2 behind John Morant. Which
that
wow.
was the worst list I've ever seen.
That's a really bad list. Wow. What else we got? The 76ers lost tonight, you guys.
Yeah,
to the
holy
Atlanta
gosh.
Hawks. They lost. Joel
Yeah.
Embiid, 23 points, 10 rebounds. Man, he had a worse night than Yoke. 6 of 17 from the field, minus 11. Wow, they were all in the minus there. Hey, at least that happened.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. Man, they were. So Atlanta gets that win. Atlanta, Philly. Is there something brewing here between these two teams? It's a little
think
bit
so.
weird. Maybe there's a little bit. Here's what's crazy. No Trey Young. No Clint Capella.
No Embiid, right?
No, there was Embiid. He did
Oh,
play.
wait, it was a game and he played?
No Danilo Gallinari. All these guys in health and safety protocols, they still get a win.
That's
They still go
embarrassing, man.
into Philadelphia and get a win. Everybody in the NBA is down bad right now, guys. Everybody in the NBA. The Pelicans got a win over the Orlando Magic.
Dude, how'd Gary do?
He had
We
a
heard Till
great
he was
game.
having a great
You guys
game.
ready?
Yeah, Gary.
game.
Gary.
22 points on 9 of 14 shooting, guys. The feel-good moment. It's time.
Hold on, he had
Bring
4 or
him home.
5 from deep.
4 or 5 from
Whoa.
deep, guys. Gary Harris, bring him back. A bargain for Gordon Harris trade. Let's do it.
Did we lose?
do
Did we,
what?
did we lose the trade? Is it possible we lost the trade?
Well, Aaron Gordon didn't play tonight.
That's what I mean.
What?
Lost the trade.
Oh no! Robin Lopez just sitting there as well. How did he follow up his near triple double with 11 assists tonight? He has 4 points, 1 rebound, 0 assists.
He's not a great player.
That's a good point. You do raise a strong counter. What else do we got? The Pacers win tonight over the Rockets. Do we even talk about that game? Probably not. Right now, the Spurs are up over the Lakers, 105-92. Man, the Lakers are down bad. LeBron James, 33 points through 3 quarters. I mean, there's still time in this game, but LeBron, 14 of 22, 33 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and they are down by 13 points.
Sucks to suck, and we would know.
You remember when the Nuggets, all they had to do back in 2018 was shed Paul Millsap, and they could have made room for LeBron, and everybody laughed at that idea. Can you imagine LeBron right now if he was in Denver since 2018? Honest to God, probably has 3 more championships. Actually, he probably traded Jokic away, Murray away.
I don't
All
wanna
those
talk
guys.
about
We
all
have
that
this
stuff.
exact Lakers roster. It's probably what happened.
I don't want to talk about any of this stuff. I'm despondent.
It would have been pretty lame, though, huh?
Totally lame, dude.
Can you imagine three
We don't wanna
championships right now,
win
but it's like LeBron and they win the championship and immediately fly to Los Angeles
we don't
to celebrate?
want to win the wrong way. We want to lose the right way and in terrible fashion.
That's right. That is what we want. That is what we want.
sound like
I have no idea what's going on. Vote just finished up, so we have to kill like 3 minutes while he figures.
Let's talk about vote for 3 minutes.
He says he doesn't have the link, Allie. To Brendan Vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
So wait. Let me try to
it
understand
coming from
something.
Allie or
You
Kelvin
sent
Count?
something to Brendan, but he doesn't have it. That seems weird. Brendan has somehow screwed
Wow,
this
you
up.
are really turning into a Scrooge tonight.
Well, just because I'm flaming everyone I
You
know.
are flaming everyone you know.
I don't care. All of you could take that out on the way out. I don't care.
Man, you are airing grievances tonight. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Except for Dev. Dev's the only one I care about. He doesn't even like me. That's the worst part.
I mean, it's true. Things are true, man. I've never heard truer words.
What's your Christmas tradition?
We watch Friday After Next. We also.
Oh, wow. A classic.
We do pajamas also. Grown-ups in pajamas. We have one kid on my, on one side of the family, and it's just stare at the baby and just watch her do nothing. She's like 3 now, so she's not like an actual baby, but it's just stare at them. It's really boring, actually.
Really?
Pisses me off, if you want to be honest. But that's like my tradition. And then I go to my other side of the family. Very ratchet. Very, very ratchet. And it's very opposite. And they're flaming me about my pajamas.
Oh,
you
man.
know, so like now I have to have a change of clothes. But
Really?
Friday
The
After Next
ratchet
is my
side
thing.
is not, like gives you a hard time about the pajama
Oh
pants. I
man,
would think
you
that would be.
would fit in on my ratchet side. for
Wow.
sure.
Wow.
Yeah, 'cause that's all they want to do is just joke the entire time, and that's just what you want to do. And then plus, they really don't like me, but they act like they do.
Wow, I would fit in with those people. That's exactly how that works for me.
What is your tradition?
Well, I was going to just say, like, when you say pajamas, like, do you actually have pajamas?
A full set.
Do you have pajamas?
I'm an adult man.
That's what I was going to say. I don't have pajamas. I've never
We have to go
actually
buy
owned
'em. But,
So
I
you
mean,
go,
we have 'em.
all right.
Do you
It's
get a
a tradition.
pajamagram?
What is that?
Oh, it's a popular service, pajamagram. You also could do maybe teddy bears. Or,
You said pajama too, right?
instead of pajama.
Yeah, he said pajama, which is it sounds almost British. I don't know.
Dev has like a British.
He does
slant
the British
to him.
Duvalier. That's when I guess
I
more
see what's
French.
happening here.
Yeah, he see what's happening here. So your pajamas.
Pajamas.
Yeah, Eric, what's the tradition?
I go to my mother's house.
Oh, Eric's vote's here. All right, let's go. Brandon vote. I was to hear about Eric's Christmas.
Very
Whoa,
bad.
that was going to be rough.
Start talking about his
Holy
mom.
shit.
Wow, that's
Out of there.
just in the nick of time, vote. Wow. We're in the Losers Lounge. Life is terrible. Just catching you up on the story. Everything is bad. Vibes are horrible. How's your night going?
My night's going great. Vibes are also bad here. Everyone's also upset. Do you want some notes?
Yeah, just give us the notes, man.
Okay. Michael Malone noted just the one assist in the fourth quarter that everyone started playing, looking to get their shot. They stopped moving. The ball stopped moving. In the second quarter, which he cited as the best quarter of the game for Denver, 11 assists to 2 turnovers. I asked about not closing with Vlatko, who played well in the first half, but only logged about 16 minutes in this game. And Malone said Charlotte went small and he wanted another ball handler on the floor.
Of course that's why. It just doesn't make sense. They suck. They're the Hornets. I just don't get it. We got to match up with them.
I know.
We got to adjust to the Hornets. Whatever they do, we've got to just like, come on, man. You're up 20.
Yeah.
He did say Vlatko did some good things for us, and that praise for Vlatko was about the nicest thing he had to say all night. But again, which is why I asked, I felt the question was prompted, why did he play so few minutes? But of course, no surprise. He wanted that ball handler out there, wanted to match up with Charlotte.
Yeah.
I asked if he felt like they struggled to get Jokic the ball in the final minutes, and he said there's no doubt that it's something that they did struggle to do, is something they have struggled with. But then he also noted that when they did get him the ball, Jokic didn't make the shots they're used to him making. So, it wasn't just Jokic, but that was a dynamic, of course.
Man. Okay.
We spoke with Facundo Campazzo. He said it was a tale of two halves. And he said in the second half, it was all about defense. Even the poor offensive possessions, he felt like were a result of just tightening up after Charlotte made a run. They couldn't get a stop. And then you just get out of what you like to do offensively.
Did he use
really
the phrase "tale of two halves," or was that creative interpretation?
I he said it kind of like brokenly. He
Okay.
did say the two halves thing. Yeah.
Okay.
He probably didn't say tale of two halves, Adam. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
He said
It was the
something
best
like
of
that.
times. It was the worst of times, he said.
That's right. Yeah, he just cracked his knuckles, busted out a children's storybook. He said he's very happy for Vlatko. He thinks he played very well. He's a smart player who knows how to move and knows his role. On Jokic and the ball in his hands at the end of the game, he says he's our best player. We have complete confidence in him. We trust that when the ball is in his hands. I asked about the bench playing better, even though the team is struggling. And he said the bench did play great last game thanks to aggression and pace, but that they're a team. There's no sense of like, oh, that's coming together for us. You win together and you lose together. We spoke with Jokic tonight. Also asked him about the lack of entry passes and not getting him the ball in the fourth. And he shrugged and he said, even when they did, I missed. It was not their fault. In terms of what went wrong in the fourth, he said everything. Everything was bad, literally everything. Offense, defense, body language, the whole gambit.
He mentioned body language.
He did. Yeah, those were his words.
Vibes are
He was asked about team morale and just with the way the season has gone and the weight of the injuries and all of that. And he said, when you're playing in a game, you don't actually think about it,
right.
Which kind of makes
true.
sense and is interesting. But he didn't really touch on what I think the question was about, which is what about outside of the game, right? I mean, are you guys feeling the weight of it? But they've all said otherwise when asked. And then finally, on taking 34 shots, was that a concerted effort? Was that a part of the game plan? Jokic said, quote, "It just happened," end quote.
Man, this whole season just happened, to be honest. It's just happening. I just feel like it's happening.
Should we make it stop?
It's just happening.
What was it like at Ball Arena tonight, man? I mean, like, they had to be, like, incredible at points, and then just, like, what the hell? I mean, did you feel it coming?
Well, I mean, first there was just this palpable sense of frustration, man, with the way the starters came out in this game. I mean, you could feel and hear the fans just begging for them to just pick it up. And then the bench comes in, and like we've joked about this, but some of the energy that like little mini Faku spurts and the whole bench, but like the way the whole arena gets up and gets into it. I mean, when he full extension laid out for that steal and the bench goes on that run, this place was incredible. The vibes were through the roof. Everyone was excited. And then the fourth felt like a slow car crash. I mean, everyone was just kind of holding their breath, waiting for something to change, and it never did, right? We just sort of watched it all happen in slow motion. A lot of groans, a lot of frustration. And I think everyone, man, from the team to the fans to the media, we've sort of leveled up in the exasperation here, after these last two losses. It's tough. There's no way around it.
Yeah, man. What a crazy one. I mean, do you sense any frustration? I mean, it's hard from here, what you're seeing, but just like, are there any internal frustrations you feel with this team, or is it just guys are just mad at losing?
Yeah, I think it's the latter. I mean, from the players, I'm not super worried about it. I think Malone, this is taking a toll on Malone, who is at his wit's end. And I know some of the main criticisms levied against him are like stubbornness, which are his MO generally, is a part of his MO. But this season, I don't think he's just been in search mode all year. And I think he's just so frustrated. And I'm not saying that he's been infallible this season either, but just in terms of answering your question, he's the guy that I worry about with the frustration mounting. Jokic seems to do a good job of compartmentalizing or shutting whatever this is off when the games end,
Right. Well, any other final notes or thoughts here before we break for Christmas?
I think this is one loss where everyone is going to throw their detective hats on. And the starters didn't play well enough. And the MVP didn't play well enough tonight. And the criticism can stop there. I think Jokic will play well the next time he comes out. But that is what happened tonight. He missed his shots. And so people can point to whatever rotation decisions they want. But the reality is the starters check back in with a 10-point lead. And if those four guys had just played a little better, say whatever you want about Faku running out of gas, they win this game, and they didn't. So we have flipped the script, fellas. We're trying to figure the starters out now.
So true. That's where we are now. Vote. Have a Merry Christmas. And
I don't think so. I don't want you to have a Merry Christmas.
Won't hear from you. You won't hear from me for a couple days. We'll see you on the 26th.
Happy holidays, guys.
Happy holidays. Alrighty, hit that outro music there, Allie. Let's get the hell out of here,
Let's play
guys.
permanent outro music.
Permanent outro music?
Let's be out forever.
Hey, man, this is the breaks. This is the thing we signed up for. This is the yin to the yang. We get some highs, we get some winners' lounges. Right now, we get the lows.
Dude, I'm missing some of that sweet, sweet yang.
Yeah.
Get a little too much yin.
Yeah, we just got to get higher at the highs. This is what I'm trying to say about the Icarus thing. Like, this, he flies like this. He still crashes.
But the story is, he gets high and then he dies.
How long does wax wings last?
They don't. First off, wax wings are not real. They don't last at all.
That's what I'm trying to say, man. You might as well fly high. Dev's with me, man. Dev's with me. All right, everybody. We really do hope you have a great Christmas. Love the people. Show some love to the people that in your life that means something to you for real this Christmas. And let's regroup. Let's regroup on Sunday.
Regroup. All of us. Chat. Come on, bros, ladies. Let's enjoy each other again. Let's all look at Adam like a friend. Even me. I'll look at Adam. Hold on. Just give me 1 second here. I can't do it. I'll do it next season. But all the rest of us, all we have are us. No one in this world cares about us. We're Nuggets fans. We're as low as it gets as far as they're concerned. And right now they're right. But we're going to rally together. We're going to fly up with these stupid wax wings that Adam keeps talking about. And they're not going to melt. We're going to become champions and fly into the sun.
Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll see you.
Let's go.